What does your core message say about who you are and the value you bring in your personal brand? If you're tired of the old cookie cutter marketing advice and want to take your personal brand to the next level with bold, actionable strategies that truly reflect you, you're in the right place. Let's untangle your marketing mayhem with Zoe, the video confidence coach, on the Unboring Your Brand podcast. Unboring Your Brand was recorded on Wadawurrung land. Thank you so much to Kelsey for asking this question. So the context of this one is she was starting to build a Kelsey was starting to build her personal brand, but consciously. Now, of course, we all have a personal brand. We all have a reputation within our community, within our experience. But when you're consciously doing it, it's very different to when you're just kind of letting it happen to you by obviously building your personal brand. And the more context that she was asking was, how do I decide on the main message of my personal brand? And what steps would I suggest to keep that message clear over time? So of course, my go-to answer for that is usually about who is your customer? Why do they care? It's all about them at the end of the day. Yes, it is your personal brand and your face and your message, but at the end of the day, they are the ones that are benefiting from it. So it helps to have them really clear in your mind about who exactly you work for and why you work for them. But when it comes to your message, of course, that can need a little bit of help and especially a little bit of introspection. And let's be real, building a personal brand isn't just a fancy tagline or branding or a color scheme. It's a message that people remember when they think of you. When they think about what you stand for, that message needs to be clear. So let's work on yours today, and we'll give you a bit of a challenge at the end. So how do you decide on your core message? So a core message, as you can imagine, is the thing that sparks off everything that you do. Yes, this will require a little bit of refining and probably a little bit of trial and error to see what people understand and resonate with and what words you should be using. But in the meantime, let's just focus on what we can do with ourselves and with our own brains at the moment. And if you need any help with any of this, feel free to reach out for a free obligation 15-minute chat with me at vcc.training. Getting back into it, Zoe. You can ask yourself, what do you actually stand for? And I'm not talking just about what sounds trendy or what is you stand for a cause. What exactly is true for you? What values do you hold dear? So what do you stand for? What do you value? For example, I value respect. Everyone deserves for their message to be heard and to be respected. So, video confidence coach is the best way to do that. Think about what people come to you for. So when they go to you, do they want a motivator? Do they want a problem solver? Do they want someone who's not going to tell them bullshit and just be a truth teller? What is the clue that helps you figure out, okay, why do people come to me? And then it'll help it, what do you stand for? And ultimately, with this core message, making it simple. You don't need a PowerPoint, you don't need a blog post, you don't need a full transcription or a dissertation to be able to describe what your core message is. Yes, you can do that later on, you can go real deep into this stuff. But for now, avoid making it too complicated and just stick to a simple message. And the next part I want to get into, along the lines of keeping it simple and keeping your message clear over time, so that was the other part of the question, was repeating your core message. So for me, as you can imagine, and I look over onto my right so I can make sure I get it right for everyone, my core message is smashing your marketing... Apologies. So my my message is smashing your marketing mayhem with killer video marketing strategies. It's a fairly simple, so it's less than one line. It is a bit more of a showy type of line or a core message than, it doesn't exactly show what I stand for, but it shows that I am not exactly aggressive, but I like to use very flowery language, that I quell your marketing mayhem, that I take away that mayhem for you, untangle it, if you will, and I do this via video marketing strategies. That is what I do. That is what I enjoy doing. And I repeat this over and over and over again. Repeat it in the mirror. I've got it all over my office, all over my house. This helps me repeat it and make sure that it's something that I'm comfortable saying, but also something that I can repeat over and over and over again. So it's actually going to stick whenever anyone asks me what I stand for or what I do. making sure that over time that I check in with myself, making sure that the message still feels true and I haven't outgrown it. Because your personal brand is a reflection or a professional reflection of you. And you're not always going to be the same person that you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So that message will change over time. And personally, I like to check in every 6 months. Now, of course, you're doing this fairly often in between with reciting and repeating your core message. But in that meantime, I like to be able to just spend that time going, okay, do all of these things still matter? Do these core values, is my audience still the same? That will definitely dictate more about what your core message is. Is your audience still the same? Now, of course, they can shift and grow like anyone can. But is that message still true? And the last thing that you can do, especially over time, is to keep consistent, making sure that you use this tagline or this core message on every video, on every post, on every email, on, let's say it, on your website to reflect your message. It's not just when you remember to do it that is important. It needs to be everywhere so everyone remembers what your core message and motivation is for your personal brand. So a quick challenge I have for you: in one sentence, describe what people know about you and your work. If it's a paragraph, trim it down. And if you need to, in my personal experience, coming up with a paragraph first is great. Give it, walk away, go for a walk, come back. Or maybe work on it with either a friend or a business partner or someone in your life that you trust. And then you can trim it down to a sentence. Because then if you fill it into a paragraph, you've got a bit more space to remove. And then you can refine it. And then from there, then use it everywhere. Use it everywhere. Thank you for listening or watching Unboring Your Brand. You can find detailed show notes with tools, offers, and episode transcriptions. Just click the first link in the description or go to vcc.training/podcast. Get involved and ask me anything about personal branding, video strategy, or just a friendly small business chat via my email, g'day@vcc.training. That is gday@vcc.training. The Video Confidence Coach would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which I record my podcast. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Look forward to me chatting at you next week, superstars.